pizza is a very big market. Blaze has been really growing exponentially over the past few years. And it's hard to stand out when you're both growing and in this really, really stressful, busy market. So what's it been like at Blaze? You're the chief marketing officer. Let's just put that out there. So what is it like being in marketing in this field?
Well, it's been a very, very interesting experience. My background's actually not in restaurants. So I came from a much broader hospitality background, movie theaters, a lot of time spent in hotels, but have not actually worked in restaurants and particularly in the fast casual space. So coming into marketing, I think I had a lot of expectations that I brought in coming from other industries, which are definitely at a little bit of a different place in their kind of marketing ecosystem and kind of life cycle when it comes to marketing. So that has provided some really wonderful opportunities as well as challenges coming in here. But overall, it's been super exciting. I mean, I guess many people would say I joined in the midst of a pandemic, and maybe that was not the smartest idea. But I actually feel like it was really wonderful because I think when you come into a business that is constantly being challenged every day in every state. We operate in 38 states, so every day was a new challenge. It really allowed me a great opportunity to kind of learn the business and learn a lot about our guests, how they're different in different parts of our market, and how our value proposition has really remained true, has really been wonderful. So it's definitely been a really, really fun and interesting ride. But that's also part of marketing, right? Is that you have to be really, really responsive to what's going on in the world around you, always responsive to the needs of the guest, and have that kind of dynamic play at hand. So I'm super excited to be here and be part of Blaze. I look forward to what today will bring, I guess, let alone the rest of this week and beyond.
Yeah, so one of the really interesting things that Blaze does and continues to do is think of new ways to feed customers who may have different dietary restrictions.
So I have a gluten and lactose intolerance. So like you would be arguing, why would you of all people be joining a pizza company? But the wonderful part about Blaze is I actually can eat and enjoy Blaze every single day. It's one of the best parts of our brand. So there's so many people who felt like they couldn't eat pizza anymore, or if they were going to eat pizza, that they had to eat a pizza that was not really going to be a good pizza. And that part is wonderful. We actually do a very large business with people who have dietary restrictions, and it's been something that we've continued to expand.
And so, you talked about a lot of the digital innovations that you guys have done and how you're doing digital marketing, which is, what the world has moved to recently. It wasn't always, but now everything is digital. Everybody has apps, everybody in a world that, we never used to. So what is Blaze doing in terms of these new digital offerings, and how are you marketing digitally in this really competitive world now?
Well, it has certainly gotten a lot more competitive. I will tell you, it's very hard to break through. There's a lot of messaging. There's a lot of great messaging. There's also a lot of noise that is out there as well right now. And so it has become a very, very difficult challenge for us and for marketers in general in both restaurants and beyond. And so we've been spending a lot of time investing in our own digital platform. And so we're actually getting close to be able to launch a new app. We built an app from the ground up. We're launching a lot of unbelievable features that'll be part of that app that were all rooted in guest research. So we actually went to our guests and said, okay, what are the parts of our app that you like? What don't you like? What are the things you want to see from us? And we use that as a way to prioritize a nearly, 8-month build of putting this new app together. We're also with that going to be releasing a new version of our website with mobile capabilities, et cetera, so that we're really, thinking through holistically around that end-to-end digital experience. We're coupling that again with a lot of things internally, particularly around our CRM and our loyalty program, so that I have a true, end-to-end experience that we're thinking about with personalization, with offer engines, et cetera, et cetera. And then we're obviously going to augment that with a lot of outwardly facing digital messaging. And so we've been doing a lot of different work with kind of how we think about our advertising and our campaign work. And one of the big things that the brand has actually not done historically has been more on video because of sort of our geographic sort of spread, our size. It's not like you've seen Blaze, run a Super Bowl commercial or anything like that. We're small and mighty, but we don't have those kind of budgets. And so it's really been an interesting thing for us to get much more creative and much more hyper targeted, which we can do through digital marketing. So we're actually going to be launching a new digital campaign in the next couple of weeks. It's primarily video based, and we're doing a lot of sort of micro segmenting, micro targeting, using a lot of a much more data driven approach than I think many restaurant brands have historically had the access of the data and been able to do, to be able to think about how we're building out lookalike audiences, how we're targeting, retargeting, going after our existing guests in addition to prospecting new ones. So it's something that I'm really excited that we're going to be able to launch. And I think it's an example of how, a brand like ours has been able to get really scrappy in the digital space, and really think differently about kind of our marketing kind of mix and how we approach different aspects of the funnel. So we'll see. It's going to be the first time that we're going to do it. The other great part about things in digital is that we can continue to sort of tweak it and refine it. And so it's definitely something that my team and I are going to be on calls every single day, being like, okay, how can we get it a little bit better? How can we tweak that ROI? How can we get, more impressions? And then combining that with what we're doing on our website, on our app, through our CRM program to really make something truly 360. But it's a 360 campaign that is digital at its core, which I think, again, is just sort of showcasing our investment in digital and, I think a lot of the new opportunities that have presented themselves in that environment. The other interesting thing, I think historically, a lot of restaurant brands have been looking at digital as a way digital marketing as a way to primarily drive digital business. So how are they driving people directly to their app, to their website, to sort of grow their overall digital presence. And actually what we're doing is, yes, we want to continue to grow our digital business, but we're also really thinking about how we can use that to drive in-store transactions as well. Because there's nothing like having that true in-restaurant experience and that guest-facing hospitality moment. And I think we've had a lot of new guests who have experienced Blaze and actually become Blaze loyalists through COVID, but only done it in an actual digital setting and are doing it through our app and through our website and actually haven't had that, walk down the line, see your pizza going into that, 600-degree oven, the fire, all of that level of interactivity that is part of our brand. And so we're also thinking about digital actually as a way not only to continue to drive our digital business, but how can we use that to drive our in-store experience and in-store transactions as well?
Well, it sounds like you're the perfect person for this job because you love the in-person interactions.
I do love it. Yes, it's like it's funny. I spend a lot of time in restaurants and it's like one of my favorite parts of my job is actually being able to go and, if you see me in a Blaze, you should probably come up and say hi, because I'll be the first. I'll usually, if not, I'm going to come probably and say hi to you and ask you how your meal was and what can we do better and how did you find out about us? And oh, I see you're with your family today. Do you ever come for lunch by yourself? That sort of intellectual curiosity and connection with the guest is something that I get a lot of joy and satisfaction out of.